And now, the show you've been waiting for. From Channels TV's global headquarters, it's The Other News. And here's your host, Okey Bakassi.
Hey, what's popping like popcorn? Welcome again to another episode of The Other News. The Other News is that show which prescribes weekly doses of beriberi zim kungaga tungaga. Chai! There is God and the likes. Tonight's prescription promises to be... My guest is a phenomenal journalist and an art critic. Ladies and gentlemen, Oris Aigbokhaevbolo is in the building! Also, our correspondents, Binta Badmos, SLK, and then D Humorous will be delivering some very necessary derivables. All that and more, but first is the other news headlines. Following the May Day celebrations, there have been calls for the government to begin implementing the 30,000 Naira minimum wage across the nation. Yay! Even though Nigerian senators and reps are about to pocket 23.7 billion as gratuity allowances. Hoping as because I'm not a corner. Well, today makes it 7 days since President Buhari embarked on his 10-day private visit to the United Kingdom. Yes, we are counting like accountants to hold him accountable because several times beating, you know the rest. Chai, private visit things. You know, it's interesting how we use privacy in this country. You know, public servants going on private trips, public funds diverted to private pockets, you know. Well, jokes aside, we wish Mr. President some private slices of London pizza. In response to complaints from the opposition, the presidency has said that Mr. President did not need to inform the National Assembly about his absence because it is only for a short period. And Mr. President can govern from anywhere in the world. Yes, so thanks to technology, Bubu can run the giant of Africa via WhatsApp. Someone please give Mr. President a WhatsApp emoji. No, so sorry, that one is for Kim Kardashian. This will be his smiley when Aisha is in the kitchen. And this other one, I know, is him when he sees articulate people. And this one, this will be him running the country in absentia. Emojis, eh? Anyway, congratulations to outgoing Senate President Bukola Saraki on his appointment as an ambassador at large of the International Human Rights Commission. Yeah, to celebrate his new appointment, the Senate President had this special message for his friends in Kwara State. Hopefully, Senator Dino Milaye will drop a track to celebrate his good pally. Drop a track. Yeah. But the Nigerian Senate has passed the 2019 budget of 8.916 trillion. In May, yes, they did it in May. What can I say? I mean, at this rate, maybe 2020 budget will be passed in 2021. I mean, since the budget, they do African time. Anyway, and now to other matters. Yeah. Mayday! Sorry, Mayday was yesterday. Help! Nigeria has internet fraud problem. Is anybody even listening to me? Well, actually, it be like say this thing don't pass problem. Because with all the passion and fight on this matter, I think it is safe to say that this thing has turned to a religion, aka the shrine of yahoo. All religions have the songs they sing. I mean, this one also has its own. You know, just like some religions say, peace be unto you, and some say, assalamu alaikum. In this one, they say, anything for the boys. And so for a place of worship, yeah, they call their own branches. Well, the good thing is that the people in this religion they're not plenty like that.
We have fought so hard for the release of our leader, our political leader and father. The crowd is overwhelming.
Is it me, or in this country we are suffering from Stockholm syndrome? Google it if you don't know the meaning. Yeah. Because what else can make people justify those pouring katakata into Nigeria's gari? And this syndrome is not limited to Yahoo boys. So. Yes, we also seem to love Yahoo men, Yahoo chairmen, and Yahoo godfathers. You know, Yahoo chairmen and godfathers share money during elections. Yahoo boys share money on Friday nights to Yahoo bouncers, Yahoo friends, and Yahoo babes. Forget integrity and character. Once Owo, Kudi, Ego is involved, we love them like that. They say, the child who throws up a stone in the market forgets that it may land on his mother's head. You see, but these stones of corruption that we are throwing, they are landing on all of us head. Yes. Please, who will even deliver us from this spirit of money worship? Because with the way things are going, not only our leaders get problem. Now all of us. Mayday! Help! Nigeria has a money worship problem. God, I beg you, help us. Yeah, with electricity generation on the decline and postulations of 2,000 years as the expiry date for Nigeria's electricity problems, it is obvious that there is no better time to celebrate the 47th anniversary of one of Nigeria's favorite institutions. You know it.
Around the world, the 1st of April might be known as a day for short-lived pranks and schemes. But in Nigeria, it is known as the day one of the greatest pranksters of all time was born.
Yeah, my first encounter with NEPA, let me see, I think, yeah, when I was 4, yeah, they took the light and everybody was like, oh, NEPA. Then after some hours, like 48 hours, they brought it back and everybody was like, yeah, off NEPA!
Up NEPA, a phrase in the Nigerian culture used to celebrate the institution anytime it decides to do its job.
Why do I say up NEPA? I say up NEPA because at least NEPA has given me something to hope for. In other countries where they have light and everything, they seem hopeless. But here in Nigeria, sometimes I'm like, hopefully there'll be light when I get home. Hopefully the soup I cooked yesterday won't be spoiled. Hopefully I won't get to wear a squid shirt to work. You see, hope is very, very important.
Growing up, we had this saying, when there's light, pressing your clothes becomes a pressing issue, even to the president.
Ironically, over the years, NEPA, also known as PHCN, also known as discos, all join, has become known for giving Nigerians hope by doing the opposite of what it was created to do.
When I was much younger, I asked my parents, Daddy, Mommy, why is it NEPA's job to take light? I was a very sharp girl. Yeah, I
know. Me, I'm just being so nice so that they will not take light in my area. Nobody knows who is what. They are still recording. Yeah. So NEPA, they've been really nice. They just really want us to be productive. That's why they do what they do. They want us to be productive, and which is, we appreciate it. Like now, I'll have still be too relaxed at home with my AC if there was light. But that's why I was able to make it here in time. It's really for our own good. That's why they are doing what they are doing.
NEPA has taught me to be patient. Yeah, patience.
Oh, what NEPA has taught me? Yeah, NEPA has taught me to be really patient. Because you never know. You just have to be on your toes, they supply electricity, so they can shock you, just so we never know. I would really like to say a big thank you to NEPA for their surprises, It's just that I really don't like surprises.
Thank you, NEPA, for all the spoiled food in my freezer. The microorganisms in my house are very, very grateful.
And in celebration of the institution's 47th anniversary, we all say,
Happy NEPA Day! Cheers!
This drink is not cold now.
Maybe it's tea. Up NEPA.
Of NEPA.
Happy NEPA Day! I will continue saying happy day until the day that NEPA truly makes us happy. Also, we pushed this happy NEPA Day greetings to the 2nd of May because you know how NEPA likes to push electricity supply to the distant future. So anything concerning them, like, let's push it to the future. My guest tonight is a writer and critic whose work has taken him around the world, but not in 80 days though. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, join me. Welcome Oris Aigbokhaevbolo. I don't know if I'm under that name, it's not my business. All right. Anyways.
You wrote it a bit, just a bit.
I did. Okay, just manage it like that, my brother. You know, in Nigeria, we say manage it, manage them.
This life.
Manage them. All right. People these days seem to be more likely to branch, you know, off their field of study. And same can be said about you. Why this trend, and what does it mean for our professionalism in this part of the world?
I think before we go into that, maybe we should talk about self-actualization. What do you really want to do? At the time you are a teenager, 16, 15, 18, whatever, you don't really know much about what is supposed to happen to you, I think. And we have the system whereby you went to sciences, so like, you buy a notebook, oh yeah, go to study pharmacy, go to study medicine, go to engineering. And you get into school and then suddenly it's like, okay, I'm not quite sure I want to do this. So I think
your true personality begins to evolve.
Exactly. I think, yes, I think that's actually the word, evolution. So you change and you realize maybe this is not really for me, although it might make me money, but maybe it will not make me happy. Yeah. And so at some point you change. And I think that a decent country is a country that makes people happy, I guess. Yeah. So maybe don't think about the money, think about the person.
But at some point in that your evolution again, then you graduate, you realize the country has no jobs for you. Then you evolve. And then your final evolution happens. Is that your case?
No. I mean, fortunately, I think as a pharmacist, you almost always have jobs.
Okay.
I mean, this is not an advert for the PCN, by the way.
Okay,
you know, but yes, almost always. And so that wasn't my case. For me, it was more like there was a gap. There is still a gap, actually. And I felt like, okay, what could we do to fix this gap? And I felt, you know, maybe I'm the guy. I was young.
Okay, fine. You're a critic, an accomplished one. You're happy with it. We know that sometimes other professional critics set out, you know, to be very professional and very thorough in how they do their job.
All right.
Then the Nigerian reward system, you know, a system where, you know, you become too much of a critic and, you know, first of all, they approach you with Ghana must go. Then,
I wish.
Then suddenly, suddenly you're no longer a critic. You understand? You become a cheerleader. Yeah? So
but you know, cheerleaders can be critics too.
How tough is it being a professional?
I guess the thing is to realize that critics are not just merely negative. We are also in place to praise the positive as well.
Yeah.
So if this thing is great, I mean, you can say it's great, right? So there is also that part of it. But yes, you are right. There's a lot of temptation in the whole space. And how do you do that? I think you just have to stay true to who you are. I mean, there's really no answers to that question because Nigeria is a very hard country, you know. But I think it's possible sometimes if you do not think about that Benz outside.
Anyway, let me take a break. I have too many questions for this young man. Don't even go anywhere. It's the other news. We're also looking on and see what our correspondents are cooking for today. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are still here. It's the other news. My conversation with my very, very good friend and critic continues. Yeah, we use the word critically acclaimed to describe a good body of work. Okay. Is it possible to also use the same word phrase to describe, say, a politician? Can we have like a critically acclaimed politician?
What does that even mean? What would that even, I mean, I have to think
so
about
no politician is a good body of work?
In Nigeria, not quite, not quite. But you know, it's it might be possible, I guess, to use the word used before, evolution. Maybe at some point, Nigerian politicians would evolve and evolve and evolve. And one day, we'll wake up and see that, oh, not only do we have good politicians, we also have dinosaurs.
Yeah. Okay. It said that art mimics real life.
All right.
How has our life in Nigeria affected the kind of art that we produce?
Heavily, I think, heavily. And this is maybe a political answer. But if you think about it, that we have a lot of mediocre politicians who finally end up in office. I think the same way you have a lot of mediocre work, finally end up in the cinemas, finally end up on the radio, finally end up in your books. I mean, it's a culture, sadly, we have to say, of mediocrity. And so, inevitably, what we have is going to reflect who we are. And I think that we're at that point. So this is also like a bit of a call for people like, I guess, people like me, to have, I guess, to be more forthright and maybe to even increase the number, such that it's possible that you could say that this isn't very good and this is good.
Now, picking on what we have determines who we are, if that's the correct phrase you just used.
Yes, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so what could government do to create the enabling environment for, you know, budding writers and critics to, you know, really be successful?
Give us money.
Okay. We can't give everybody money. We don't
no, but us, we are really few, right? But we are really few. But we are really few, so I'm sure it can afford. But no, seriously, I think most importantly will be our education system, the way our schools are structured. I don't think that we have sufficient cultural education to understand the role of a critic. Yeah, so if we had a better education system, both as well, that makes you a decent reader in terms of comprehension, as well as a cultural, somebody who's also like well-versed in the cultural space, you would understand the role of a critic. When
you say decent reader, it's a bit confusing because Nigerians are always feasting on anything on the blog, and they read. Is that not decent?
Yeah, but what do they read? That's why I say cultural education. It's not enough to just be literate. There's also a cultural literacy.
So reading about people like Bobrisky does not fit into that.
No, if you're reading critical articles, like well-written profiles of Bobrisky, yes, it would matter. But you're reading gossip about where he went with his boyfriend the other day, so it's a bit of a different thing. Yeah. Exactly right. That doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help anybody. So
yeah. So how do you strike a balance between, you know, expressing your views professionally and avoiding inciting anger?
I don't. To be honest, I don't. There was a case like last year at the film festival, and this guy who was written about his film like 2 years before. Funny. I was walking past, and apparently he was with a friend who actually knows me. And that one pointed out, that is Oris. And then for the next 3 hours, this was from 9 o'clock till like 12. I just sat down there listening to this guy insult me, and I'm like, okay, maybe you finish someday and then I can go. So yeah, it's almost impossible to avoid. And because the cultural space in Nigeria,
you walk out, maybe that's the reason.
Yes, that is actually why. You know,
you never can tell what these guys are up to.
Exactly. So in a sense, you need to like say, you know what, maybe avoid certain spaces so you wouldn't get into some kind of issues. But otherwise, it's fine. I think we deal with it.
It's been nice talking to you, Oris. Thanks for making our time. It's still the other news, people. Don't go anywhere. Our correspondent on ammunition matters, D Humorous, is set to give us something locked and loaded, like enjoy it.
With the wave of innocent citizens being injured and losing their lives in the hands of the same people who have been given the responsibility to protect those lives, a very sound reform was proffered.
Weapon systems such as electromuscular disruption technology, which is commonly known as teaser or stun guns, by the police for routine patrol, arrest duties, and other low-risk operations.
That means going forward now, it's going to be parkway, inner lights, hey, incomplete papers, yes, Yahoo boy, suspected Yahoo boy, dreadlock wearer, gold chain, And we will no longer see on the newspapers armed robbers gunned down. It will now be armed robbers left stunned or stunning officers coming through. And you know the beautiful thing. I have no problem with the use of stun gun. But what I'm just asking is, please, my Mr. IG, where is the light to charge the stun gun? Oh, on another side they use light. Where is the light now? Is it the one DPO who said, boys, charge? And then, Benjamin, why are you behind? Sir, they charge my own for Mama Ebere shop. We need to look at that. But listen, whether it is gun or stun gun, we need to mirror what a great philosopher by the name DMX actually said. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. And I agree with that. And to even give this philosophy more juice, we had the son of Jah on this program. And this is what he had to say.
We will secure lives and ensure that everybody that's given a gun understand what a gun means.
Booyaka, booyaka, sounded, son of Jah, Rasta fried rice, Celeste chop on the rice, they leave the pit to watch a hua, cha. You know, that's Charles Otudo. I just felt because of the dreads say son of Jah. You know, but forget that, that's another issue for another day. Every man holding a weapon needs to know why he is doing that. And a great saying also has it that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. In other words, the abuse that we have been seeing over the years shows a lack of purpose. So we ask ourselves, how many of our uniformed men actually wanted to be uniformed men? Because I have a guy in LLA who was a terror to all the poultry farms. And what was his punishment? They forced him into police. You have some friends or relatives of friends or friends or relatives who has looked at themselves and say, as work no day now, how man go do? And then they joined one of our uniform agencies. What do you expect? Did you really expect the best? So we have to go back to the foundation to say, look, how many of you really wanted to do this? And get them to believe in why they have to do what they are doing and who they are to society. Well, let's break it down even further. Private schools, forget government school, that's another issue for another day. Private school, in your career day, swear, how many times have you brought our policemen to come and talk to these young children on why they should be policemen? How many times? No, now you only bring doctors, lawyers, musicians, and Regina Daniels. So what are we talking about here? The foundation is that we need, look, listen, too much talk to this matter. Our officers, the reform, we have been saying police reform, army reform, the reform has to begin with the kidney and the bone marrow. Once our officers are in this business with their minds and with their hearts, it's a done deal. They need to appreciate okay, going forward, have you looked at the working conditions? Have you looked at the living conditions of these people that we will put our lives in their hands? And you expect the best. Let's not even talk about the pay packet and welfare. We're all the sufferer for this country. But what we need to leave you with on this episode is that, Mr. Officer, everybody you see shining has been through one thing or the other. Forget all this fine boy that we are doing. We have been through this, but because we know where we're headed, we know what we want out of life and out of what we're doing, we endure certain things, pass through certain pains to get to certain gains. So please, officer, accept your work with your mind and your heart, aka kidney and bone marrow. And on this special edition connected to Workers' Day, I will ask every worker out there, are you just doing a job to have daily bread, or you're actually going through work to build a career to fulfill a certain purpose? Usage of kidney and bone marrow is involved.
Thank you. Thanks. Dan D Humorous, ammunition consultant. Yeah, this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode. So glad you could join us. Be a part of our live audience. Please call the numbers showing on your screen. Follow us on all our social media platforms at The Other News CTV. Our people say that the first bird to get to the stream will always be the one to drink clean water. Till next time, my name is Okey. No darling, oh, no darling. Thank you.